Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Greg. I'm going to go ahead and update Soul Phantasma. All right. There's been a lot of things that have gone on with Soul Phantasma, something to do with the chain. It went down, it got hacked or something like that. I don't know all the details. And, there's been some folks that have come to my Soul Phantasma videos and talked about how they don't like it because they lost money in it. Here's the deal, guys. When you start putting your coins and your funds in these spots like these DeFi programs and going to these other chains and stuff, basically the general rule of the thumb is it shouldn't be any more than 1 to 2% of your overall portfolio. So what I'm saying is that if you do lose it, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. It's a risk that you take in the cryptocurrency market. If you think you're in this market and that's not going to happen, look, I was in UST Luna. I lost a little bit there. Luckily, I was able to get out in time. I only lost like maybe 2% of my funds. And I'm not talking about like, I didn't have $1,000 in there. It was a lot. There's some people lost other money. So, I go off the charts. I trade the charts. This is good. This has a decent chart. And just to let you guys know that I want to reiterate that too. And there's another thing I'm going to go over again too. These guys, some of you guys are like, I don't know. You're trying to dump some seem like they're dumping all their money in one coin, or, hey, I could say that maybe Soul Phantasma is going to do a 10x, maybe a 15x, and it very well could, guys, in this next wave run. Okay. It could go back up near those all-time highs from where it is right now and do a 15x. It could do that, but it might not. But you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, going back to that. So that's why you got to have a variety of cryptos, because some of them will do moonshots and some of them won't. And then you kind of structure, I made previous videos about that. You kind of structure your portfolio. You want to find the ones that are going to start running, like Quant and like Matic, right? Like Quant and like Matic. And you're like, okay, those are good. They're going, probably going to complete their sequence. And then you might take a little bit more risk on other coins like this one, where it's kind of struggling out the bottom where it is right now. But it's in a good location, in my opinion. What it's doing right now with Soul Phantasma, it's kind of like Fantom. It's just sitting there, right, probably at the bottom of its second wave, and it just doesn't have that oomph yet from other people and buyers wanting to go in there and take and start maybe getting more of this token and get it going. But like I said with Fantom, nobody wanted to hear about Fantom. We were sitting down there at 19 cents, 20 cents, 21 cents. They're like, oh, look at that, man. It's just going to go down. Well, I mean, recently, if you had bought some at 20 cents, you would have popped up to 30 cents. That's huge move, guys. That's 50% right there. Bam, within a week, just having a little bit of patience. So Soul Phantasma could be doing the same thing. Now, I got a strange chart on here. I'm going to go over this. This chart's kind of like Fantom. Kind of reminds me of Fantom chart a little bit, okay? And the reason I have this pattern on here is how much momentum that it has in the weekly chart on those waves. Okay, tell them this is a massive. So this is like a what you call a rising wedge. Okay, you see this fourth wave land on top of the wave over there, and it went up and did this. So that's kind of rising wedge. I do have it on there just to get an idea of possible price targets, only because of this mess back here, which on the price chart doesn't make any sense. It came down here and went way over here like that. But if you look down here in the momentum indicator, it's way, way down there. Okay. So you have to realize the price action, it goes off the price action, but you got to check this little handy indicator down here too. So more than likely it could be doing something similar to that. I don't know for sure. Could be wrong. It just might be, this is the wave one in a diagonal type move, and it corrected it, and it came back down to where? Wave 4 territory on top of this wave in that area, okay? Like I said, where do they like to correct to? Bottom, this area, wave 4, this area right here, okay? So everything looks good so far as a wave up and a correction down. And this is more of a 3-wave move down too. You can see right here, down, A, B, C, back down right here. Okay, now it has a wave sequence over there. And just okay, loading up on your bags. Like what I did here, guys, is that at 20 cents, plopped a little bit in and I wrote it up. Okay, just a little bit. All right, so I was willing to take that chance at 20 cents and put a stop loss down here to see if I was going to lose it. I didn't, and it went up. And now it's up in a 5-wave sequence, and it's correcting back over here. and I'm getting more over here in this area. Okay. So that's what I've done. That's me with protection over here on this bag. And then where I reloaded up over here, protected at this 18 cents level for a stop loss in that area, more or less, guys. Okay. So now it's in this sequence that it did. And this clearly on this 12-hour chart, here's your third wave peak. And then you get your divergence right here. So it went up in this wave 1, back down 2, 3, back down to 4, and it did a diagonal, ending diagonal. So that's an ending diagonal. They do have abrupt corrections. So let you guys know, if you see these rising wedges at the end of a wave like that, they will have abrupt corrections just like that. Okay, it bounced over to this area and came way over here, and now it's in this area. Okay, so it's like I said, I think it's similar to Fantom, and it's still working on getting its way out of there. And if there's a correction coming up in Bitcoin and Ethereum and all the other ones, it could still just stay in this area. It might maintain that 19 cents low, guys. That's what I'm looking at with Fantom, or not Fantom, but Sol Phantasma. And making a mess in there. It made a mess in there, actually. Trying to figure out what it's going on in there is going to be that's a mess in there, guys. So just struggling in that area. I won't go in that, and then it might come back down here, and then finally in the when the crypto market perhaps decides to go bullish at some point, then this can make its trek out of there. So what I'm gonna do is I'll just go off this wave and see what it corrected to on a retrace. Okay, off the top of that wave, and it's a very, very deep retrace, as you can see. You know, well beyond 786. It's kind of holding on to that 786 with a couple wicks down below it. Okay, so that's a good area for a second wave retrace, in my opinion. And I'm just waiting for it to suss itself out in the time being to get ready to go on another wave run. Okay, so at a minimum, okay, let's say it's bearish, it's going to do ABC. Okay, it could go back up to, say, 50 cents. Not too bad right there, right? From this area back up there, that's not too bad. Okay, if it's not, if it's doing a third wave, it goes into a third wave. You know, you can get a ballpark area. Say that was its correction. That was its first wave. So you'd be looking at these areas right here, 60 cents, potential 60-cent target with Sol Phantasma, which is pretty significant gains right there, guys. Got it in right there. Now you're looking at, 200% more or less with Sol Phantasma. Okay. What is the long-term outlook for it? Just go here on the weekly chart. Okay. So let's say that's a conservative third wave target right there. Okay. So let's say here, I'll do this. I'll show you guys something. Here we go. Let me go back to days on a daily chart. I'll show you. That's a 1.618. Okay. Something a little bit more conservative. I'll go, or not conservative. Let's go a little more, I'll get price targets since I do too much on it for you guys. Okay. So this third wave, look at a 2.618, which is not unusual for coins like of this nature in the cryptocurrency market. Okay. So let's come back out to a weekly chart, right? So something like that, your third wave target. Okay. So I would take it and, yeah, all-time highs, guys, is what I would be looking for. Something like on a wave. If it did a 2.618, if it went into a massive third wave, I'd see a pretty good size fourth wave correction, and then a fifth wave thrust up into these areas is a potential, like so. Okay. And how long that would take, it just kind of depends. Let me see. This wave, it took it 3 months. 5 months right there. This wave, 6 months, more or less, just a little under 6 months, more like 5 months, 3-4 months. And the waves right there, that's what I would expect. 15x right there on that wave. You're looking at, let me check that again, 13, 15x. And this one looks like it was thrusted up. Yeah, that was 20x. So yeah, I would expect kind of something like that. Now it's not going to go that path, guys. You got to realize it could go up again, correct back down to here, and then finally make that thrust up there. You want to be aware of something like that. So that's what I'm planning for with Soul Phantasma. And going back out to a 12-hour chart, you know, this on this wave sequence that it did. Okay, I got confirmation there, up in 5, back in 3. Okay. Now you want to be aware they could be playing around in here. It could come back down and come to these areas. Okay. That can't happen. All right. That's the deal with trading. Here's your stop, 17, 18 cents. Okay. Or you can put it higher. So what kind of risk that you be taking? Let's say max risk is like 20%, but you put it in this area right over here for a pretty good, decent trade. And the other thing is too about Soul Phantasma, you have to be aware of, had problems and nobody's talking about it. Very few people are talking about it. Just like Fantom, don't care about it. They don't see Greek candles. They don't care. We don't want to hear about it. But once this thing's up here, like render token and doing boom, 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 all the way up here like that, yeah, then they'll be talking about it on Twitter, guys, all over the place. And then they're too late. They miss most of the games. If you made it all the way to the end, do me a huge favor. Drop a like. Hit the subscribe button. Peace.